civilized world, come in and take a seat. Pay us no attention, it's all conspiracy. We have satire and parody, some funny, some perverse. If none of it's offensive to you, you'd be the first.
Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse, but if he does, he could lose everything.
And now for something completely different.
And here we go.
Honeycomb's big, yeah. It's not small, no.
Kiss my entire.
Oh, my darling, not 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
I'm gonna get a cappuccino soon. I'm gonna strangle somebody.
This is my place, okay? I have in here who in the fuck I want.
And the doctor is in. Holy cow, what a day. So I am without a producer. I am without a co-host. I am without a guest. So you get more me. It's a bonus. You know, and for that, I think I deserve this.
So just sit right down, relax, open your ears real wide and say, give it to me straight, doctor, I can take it.
onto the wheels. Flaps up. No offense, Margaret. Contact. We're off. Rum, rum.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Oh, what heights will hit? On with the show. This is it.
And the doctor is in, babies. Hello, Don. Hello, Mo or Joe, whichever one is watching, or both. Good to see you guys. Yeah, it's been an adventurous day. Hey, Faz, what's going on? Good to see you. I have a co-host that's going to show up here shortly. Just make sure I got the right link sent out. On with the show. This is it. And of course, I will be dropping the link here shortly after we do our normal segments. Beware of wrong buttonitis. It can happen. It can happen. It's a very real thing. Just Joe. All right, Joe, what's up? All right, so this has been kind of an interesting week here around the house. Went to go and we're still cleaning the debris from where the shed was crushed by the huge three oak trees, one root ball. And we had to wait for the big skid steer to come in here and get the gigantic trunks up before we could get to the stuff that was underneath. And so far that has been 4 truckloads in my extended bed F-150. And on that last load, man, I was like, I'm wore out, man. I can't do this anymore. So left the truck back there for a couple of days and the battery went dead. I don't know why. It just did. So that was annoying. So I went back and I jumped the truck off. And I'm trying to back it out of the yard because there's nowhere to turn around. So I got to back out of there. And as I'm backing up, it's like, did the yard grow new trees? I was having to do a reverse slalom to get out of there in the dark, and I had no idea what I was doing. But fortunately, got the truck out of there, but not before I had an uncontrollable case of the giggles at the absurdity of it all. And speaking of absurd, the maximum devil himself.
What's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, not a whole lot, really. Just kind of woke up and putting some stuff together for this Kickstarter.
Yep. When does that go live? And
probably in a week or so. And the one that the trailer is the one that's already the trade paperback trailer.
Okay, we'll play that at the break.
Yeah.
All right. So how's weather in the Midwest?
Pretty good. I mean, it's like 72 degrees, sunny. It's nice. Yeah.
Not that you ever go outside.
I sit outside on my back porch often.
Okay. All right. Okay. So a little fresh air never hurt anybody.
That's right. You got to check out where the cops are too.
I don't even want to know what it is you're doing that requires that kind of vigilance. We're not going to incriminate ourselves on this show.
Always need to maintain vigilance.
Situational awareness is all it is.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, true story. I was on active duty and I came to a friend's house on Liberty, weekend Liberty, you know.
Yeah.
And everybody got a little drunk.
No way.
Me included. And I had that oh no feeling. You know the one.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. And I don't want to go hug the porcelain throne all night long. So I take off my shirt and he's got a concrete slab front porch. Nice and cool. I go and lay down on it. Oh. And I fell asleep. I woke up to the sound of I crack open an eye. There are two cops standing over me. Someone has called in a dead guy on a porch. I said,
I'm not dead.
I am not dead, though I feel like I should be. They said, the usual, do you live here? I said, nope. I was partying here last night, and this seemed like a good place to lay down. And one of the guys got tickled and started laughing. He just walked away. The other one continued to, and I finally said, look, man, I opened the door, call the guy, tell him I'm a guest here. Yeah, he's a guest here. Okay. Bye. But yeah, dead guy on the porch.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. We never had dead guy on a porch. We did have the MP show up to my apartment for my birthday party that we had, and then we were being too loud, and like I went outside and just chatted with them, and then they left and just took off, and they're like, "Well, what happened? You just talked to them and they left." I'm like, they're just people too, and they don't want to be doing their job either.
Yeah, they don't want to do their work any more than you want to do yours.
Exactly.
There's a urban legend that seems to be true here in our state. If the Georgia State Patrol pulls you over, you're getting a ticket no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you were Perry Mason and you prove you didn't do whatever it was, they'll write you a ticket for something else. On the other end of that spectrum are our deputies. They would rather shoot themselves in the foot than have to do the paperwork. So if you get pulled over by a deputy, all they're going to do is say, man, what the hell's wrong with you? Slow down. And they'll leave. So, two ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah. Like our cops around here, they're one of two directions. They're either super gung ho, like, yay, I'm gonna fucking arrest everybody and make everything a criminal. And then you got the ones that have been like, I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't give a shit. Just go home.
Yeah. Yeah. Always. There are certain professions that you don't want the person that you're interacting with to be having a bad day.
Yeah.
For example, you don't want to go in the emergency room with your arm hanging off and the doctor's having a bad day.
Yeah.
Just not feeling it today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not feeling it attaching some guy's arm back to his fucking
you don't want to get the cop that just found out his wife was cheating on him to pull you over.
Sure.
You don't want a counselor that's in a surly mood.
Well, that's what they got anyway from you, Doc.
It was a weird profession in that you're not allowed to have a bad day. You mean the foulest mood. The billing didn't go through, which means you're not getting paid for another week. And
you want to kill somebody, and then they walk in the door. You're like, "Hi, how you doing?"
Yeah, and then good to see you. Come on in. And in your brain, you're going, I just want to go home. I want to go home. So, if we as comic book readers have a bad day, it doesn't really matter. No. It doesn't affect anybody. Doesn't affect it. You don't want to go in to court and the judge is having a bad day.
Yeah.
These are just professions where you don't want the person to be having a bad day, is what I'm saying. So, Max, I appreciate you coming out and co-hosting with me.
Yeah, no problem, man.
It's that time of the show, though, where we do a little thing we like to call By the way, if you get your news from memes, you are more likely to have an accurate picture of the world. Watch the news.
I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't doubt it.
Just saying, memes are the modern equivalent to the town crier back in the day.
Yeah.
So let's start with this one. Bam! I put a potato in the microwave and pushed the pizza button. A little bell rang, but it was still a potato. Yes. AOC has done more for blonde chicks than any woman in history. She took the heat off the blonde girls for dumb comments.
Yeah, she did.
Pornhub says, can you guys stop reporting videos for nudity, please? I don't know why I found that so funny. And then there's a nice, harmless, innocent one. Dog library. Take a stick. Leave a stick.
Leave a stick.
Now, in our younger days, I can neither confirm nor deny the following. When you shave your junk for the second date and she cancels.
The hell is that thing?
I don't even know, man. I'm feeling this. For some reason, I feel this one.
It's like Grimace without any legs.
It's a little disturbing to look at. A lot like some of the chicks I dated, but anyway, why can't trees give off something useful like Wi-Fi? So just fuck oxygen, right? People post things frequently without thinking.
Yeah, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of social media. Is just seeing people just being stupid.
Yes. Now, either they didn't think or they're not capable of thought, both of which are frightening. And then here's this one is deep for me. Stop normalizing the grind and normalize whatever this is. Now, this brings up questions, Max. I have questions. Mm-hmm. What do these people do for a living? These anthropomorphic creatures in the 100-acre wood. They had nice houses. They had groceries.
Yeah.
They're having coffee. What do they do for a living?
I don't know. But to be honest with you, I know people that still sit around the coffee table and drink coffee, or the kitchen table and drink coffee together.
Yeah. Yeah, we do it here.
I mean,
we do it here. But you never see Pooh, Tigger, or Rabbit working a job.
Well, Tigger owns a farm, or Rabbit owns a farm.
This is true. He's the only one with any kind of industry.
Yeah.
Owl is like, what, the village counselor?
Yeah. He's basically the counselor for the group. And Pooh Bear doesn't do anything. Piglet doesn't do anything.
I mean, Pooh just shows up like a pothead. Eats everything in the house. So then there's this one, speaking of
Rabbit.
Characters, you got Tinkerbell and her lesser known cousin, Taco Bell. Oh my God. Body positivity. Those little wings are never getting her fat ass off the ground.
I had some Taco Bell the other day when I went there. I was like, okay, what I want you to do is start with a 5-layer beefy burrito. I want you to remove the beans, put double meat on that motherfucker, put some Italian or some of the enchilada sauce on it, and some cheese. Yeah. And then she got confused at the enchilada sauce, but I almost made it because I know that if I know how to make it, if I could get him to make it. That is the original OG beef burrito from Taco Bell.
Yes.
From the 80s.
Yes. Good luck getting that, by the way. The last 3 times I've gone to Taco Bell, they've gotten my order wrong. Mm-hmm. I will order, I want a beef burrito, no beans, double meat, cheese, and sour cream.
Yeah.
And they get it wrong. And I'm like, this is not complicated, people. You're just lazy. You're just being lazy.
C team.
Yes. So this has been another exciting episode of... Okay, whatever.
We're done.
Taco Bell. I want to know from the chat, what's the most fucked up thing you order from fast food that they get right or they get wrong? Me personally, I don't do clown food often, but not once since the 70s has this closest to me, McDonald's, ever gotten my order right. Not once. And I don't even be ordering hard stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Give me number one.
Yeah. You remember the little cheeseburgers that were just like they were a quarter back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
That's all they are, just cheeseburger, pickles, ketchup, mustard, piece of cheese. That's it. 3 cheeseburgers, please. You want anything else? No, that's all I want. You drive around and you get, lasagna. What the fuck? How does that even happen?
They always fuck you in the drive-thru.
Yes, because you're going to leave and get all the way home before you notice.
Yep. It's like Taco Bell is the worst for us. It's like it got to the point where like I would quit eating Taco Bell because Taco Bell they just couldn't get it right. No matter what I tried. I tried reverse psychology. I tried regular psychology. I tried just being straight with them. I tried offering them a tip.
I have done that now. When I want something a particular way, I will tell them at the window, look, there's an extra $5 in this for you if you get this right. I want you to personally see to this. Okay. And you still get the shit wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. What is that? What even is that? All right. So there's a new segment we're doing here on the show. And,
what do we got now?
We're going to do this right now.
Hey, what's up, Doc? What's cooking? What's up, Doc? Oh, you're looking.
You serious?
So we're going to talk today for just a moment. Oh, by the way, let me do my disclaimer. I am no longer a practicing mental health professional. All my credentials are expired and gone. They have dust on them. They will be found by archaeologists someday, and they will wonder what in the world they were for. If you were having a mental health issue, contact your local provider or your local emergency room or call
988.
Oh, wait a minute. Don says, I love when I say it needs to be remade because it can't have the tomato. 2 minutes later, waitress brings back the sandwich with batter seeds still on the bun. Yep. Quick out a pack of icy bladder and sure what happens if I eat that. Oh, Don is going a little too far. So we're going to talk about phobias today.
Okay.
Phobia is defined as simply an irrational fear, meaning the fear is not based on a reality. It's not that you got mauled by a pack of dogs and now you're afraid of dogs. It's that nothing has ever happened to you and you're afraid of couch cushions.
Yeah.
So let's go over a few of those real quick like. So there's one called paganophobia. Paganophobia is the fear of beards or facial hair. It's having a conversation with a guy online.
So
and
what?
We were talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What causes one of these if they're irrational?
I don't know. Nobody knows. They just are. Now we'll talk about how they treat these things here in just a moment. But I was talking to a guy, and we were talking about parrots, and he was trying to say that he had gone into a pet store, and a bird said hi, and it scared him. But in his typing, he said a beard said hi. And it frightened me. I said, well, they're going to frighten the fuck out of me too. Was it on a face or was it just a beard? He wasn't catching the typo that he had written. So I was just having my own little inside joke with myself. Ablutophobia. Ablutophobia is the fear of bathing or washing.
Oh, I definitely don't have that.
Yeah, people will have a panic attack at the act of bathing, which leads to what? Poor personal hygiene. Now, I want to go back for a second. The paganophobia, the fear of the beard. That includes, by the way, if your own beard starts to grow out, you look in the mirror.
Oh my God, no, not myself.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? So then we've got nomophobia. Nomophobia.
So
This is the fear of being
anymore.
It's the fear of being without your smartphone.
Oh shit!
This obviously is a fairly new one, but they will have panic attacks when they're separated.
It's definitely a legit thing. I've seen people freak out when they don't have their phone.
Oh yeah. And that kind of goes to the colloquial term FOMO, fear of missing out.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's internet goes out and they're freaked out because they can't check their social media.
The only thing that worries me is when I lose my phone is I'm like, oh my God, that was $1,200.
Yeah. Or, I had something saved on there that I need, but it is what it is in the long run. But this is a phobia. And remember that when you have one of these phobias, you're going to experience panic, anxiety, dread. It can be really bad on an individual, which leads me to my last one, dictophobia. Dictophobia is the fear of running full speed backwards naked onto a doorknob. I made that one up.
So that one seems a bit false. Now, I will say that I do have acrophobia, which is pretty standard. I got
the fear of heights.
Fear of heights. It's not really the fear of heights as much as that sudden stop at the end.
Yes, it's the fear of falling from the heights. Yes. It's weird because I had that when I was young. I got over it when I went in the Navy because I flew in helicopters, part of the job. And I learned to love to fly, especially takeoffs on a jet. It's like being in the world's fastest car. I remember in San Diego when I was flying out of there, over to my right out the window was a traffic light. And the cars, it turned green and they're going and we start going. And then we just blow them away. And I'm like, yeah.
Get it. Get some.
Hey, Shadowhawk. Good to see you, my friend. So let's talk about how we treat phobias. There is really only a couple of things to do. One is supportive therapy. You go see a professional and they're going to help you with something they used to call it systematic desensitization. Now it's called exposure therapy. In small incremental increases in doses, we expose you to the thing that you are afraid of. And I have done this successfully many times, but I have never seen it really stick with a person.
Yeah, me neither. See, that's one of the things.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had the problem with PTSD. They did the same thing for me. They did the exposure therapy, and it worked out for a while. But now I've gotten back to the point where I'm just like a hermit. I stay at home. I don't go anywhere unless I have to. You know.
Yeah. And that's agoraphobic behavior like that is a symptom of PTSD. You don't want to expose yourself to anything that might trigger, because this is a whole segment on its own. But PTSD is not what people think it is.
No,
it is not. I remember a bad thing. If you get triggered hard enough, you relive the bad thing.
Yeah.
It's as if you were there in that moment, and it can really fuck you up. And
that's one of the things that fucks me up the most is when it really starts to go off, and I can feel the shaking of the Humvee underneath me, and I can feel the helmet on my forehead, on my head, bouncing around. And I can hear the chirping of the radio.
Yep.
There's and I'm just like, oh my God, gotta get out of here.
And it's the whole package. It's the feeling, it's the sound, it's the smells.
Yeah.
It's no joke. But with systematic desensitization, you can overcome a phobia. Some of the more common ones you're going to run into are agoraphobia, the fear of going out into public, acrophobia, the fear of heights, hydrophobia, fear of water. These are common and they're real. And so if you know somebody that's got a phobia, you don't look at them and go, oh, what's wrong with you? Everybody's got something wrong with them. Hey, Carrie.
Yeah, what's up, Carrie?
Just be understanding about the shit. Like, I got a buddy, he's got PTSD also. And when he starts getting a little agoraphobic, all he's got to do is say the word. We turn around, we go home. I take him home. I'm not going to go, oh man, just tough it out. Hang it. No, you don't do that shit. You
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, that's not helpful. Right? Telling somebody to calm down when they're having a panic attack is stupid.
Yeah, that's worked never.
Yeah, it works never. That's called a panic attack for that reason. And that's, next week's episode will be myth busting some things. How about that? We're going to myth bust some common misconceptions.
That would be good. Get some stuff in there about things about like one of my friends, she's got the seizure thing. What's it called?
Epilepsy.
Epilepsy, yeah. She's got epilepsy, and she's got there's a lot of bad information about how to deal with people having a seizure.
Yes, there is. And one of those, by the way, or I should say, to touch on what we were just talking about, people with epilepsy will develop a big time agoraphobia. They don't want to go out somewhere where they're going to have a seizure.
Oh, yeah.
They become, and it's crippling. That's going to be next week. All right. Next week, we're going to talk about common ailments and their misconceptions. All right. Got to remind me, Max.
All right.
Got to remind me. Max, that thing on your forehead is never going to heal. It's just part of who you are now.
It becomes part of me.
This has been another exciting episode of
What's up, Doc? What's cooking? What's up, Doc? Oh, you're looking.
And remember, if you're having crises of the mental health variety, go see somebody, get some help. Don't let stigma stop you, and don't let the I can't afford it stop you, because you go to an ER or a CSB, they're going to see you for free. They have to.
Yep.
Nobody's going to turn you away from acute care. Yep. Oh, just breathe. Well, gee, I'd have never thought of that on my own. Thank you so much for your expert advice.
Well, it was like when I was having the heart attack thing that I thought it was a panic attack.
Right.
I couldn't breathe. And I was like, I'm like, okay, I'm having a panic attack. I don't know what to do. So then I went to the hospital, and they're like, no, this is a heart attack.
Going to drop the link if you want to pop in and hang out with us. You are welcome to do so. Very informal show today. So, yeah, the converse of that, though, Max, is someone is having an anxiety attack and they're afraid they're having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Because honestly, a person experiencing those things cannot differentiate.
No, not at all. That's why it's like with me, I was like, okay, having a panic attack. Let me take some Valium. Took a couple of Valiums. Still wasn't working. Decided to go to the hospital because it's right up the street from my house. Which was probably a good idea that I did.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea, Max. I have determined, and I've said this publicly before, I'm not going to fight for my life. Now, let me clarify that for you. I go to the doctor tomorrow and they say you have X and it's going to kill you in X amount of time unless you do this.
Yep.
Well, it's just going to kill me in X amount of time because I ain't doing shit. Okay, I'm not. My grandfather and my mom both died of the same kind of cancer, and they both fought it tooth and nail, surgery, radiation, chemo, and they were miserable and they died anyway.
Yep.
I ain't doing that.
Nope.
All right. If the shit
feel
gets
the same
painful,
way.
Shit gets painful, give me some pain meds.
Yep.
I just want to live as long as I can live and enjoy it. And when my time comes, my time comes.
Just feed me full of Oxycontin or whatever it is, and just let me go until it decides to take me.
That's it. That's all I'm doing. I went to the doctor. She said it's time for your regularly scheduled colonoscopy. I said, no, it's not. There ain't nothing in there I want to know about.
And you ain't going looking, that's for sure.
No. Hey, props to the gay community. That's just not something I could ever do.
Man, when I was getting out of the Army, I had like 5 different fucking colonoscopies and everything. They had to check my shit all the time. One doctor had tree trunks for fingers. I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, there's always Dr. Fatfinger on duty when that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And then there's that one nurse, I'll never forget her. This was my childhood doctor. He wasn't a pediatrician. He was just a family doctor. Old school, old town doctor. You know, his practice was up on the 2nd floor of a building above a Chinese restaurant or some shit. He had to climb these narrow steps to get up there. Creaking old hardwood floors, just a dangling incandescent bulb with a pull cord on it. My man smoked even while he was treating his patients. And I had an ingrown toenail, and he's going to cut it out, right? Well, he comes in, and he gets his nurse, who looks like she was Noah's wife on the ark. She comes in, and she's trembling with those uncontrollable body shakes. And she's going to give me the Novocaine to numb me up. And she's coming at me with a needle, and I'm going, I'm pretty sure that right now what I'm feeling is terror. This is about to happen to me.
Yeah. I'd be like, you got the DTs, lady, or what?
What's going on here? A little too much wine last night? But anyway, you know, it was just that good old school doctor, you know, that no nonsense. He was the one that would tell you, you know, we got your lab results back, you're going to be dead in a week. Yeah. All right, you pay the waitress, get a lollipop, get out of here. Pay the secretary, whatever. Waitress.
Yeah, we used to have. I had one doctor. I can't remember his name, but he was in one of those old school doctors' offices. He smoked in his. You know, I mean, you'd go in there and you'd meet him in the doctor's office, and he'd be smoking in his office, and he'd be like, "So, basically, what we need to do is this, and then we're gonna try this out." And then he gave me. I remember he gave me an injection for something for hyperactivity, and I was hyper allergic to it.
Ooh!
And I got in real bad shape, and they had to, like, you know, pound me full of Benadryl and all this shit and make it
epinephrine, yeah,
make it happen. And I came out of it okay and got some cool toys out of the deal, but you know, it didn't really occur to me until I was later on in life that it's like, hey, I almost died.
Yeah. No, true story, Max. Same thing. I was director of operations for a residential treatment facility. We had like 8 houses, you know, men's houses, women's houses. And one night, man, I had a migraine come on. And I'm not talking about, I have a bad headache, I'll just call it a migraine like a lot of people do. That's another myth, by the way, that he's busting.
Yeah.
Not every bad headache is a migraine. It fits a very specific diagnostic criteria. And there's one question I can ask to know if it's a migraine or not. Anyway, this was an absolute migraine. And I thought, all right, I'm going to go to the ER. So my assistant had to drive me. So we get there, and he pretty much stays, you know, right there with me. And thank God he did, because they came in, and I'm like, look, you know, I'm actually on duty. I can't have any narcotics, so I don't really think there's anything you can do for me. And the doctor, who was a friend of mine, said, well, actually, there's this new medication. Yeah.
Brand new stuff.
And there's this new medication. It's a sub-Q shot. It's just for migraines. It's not a narcotic. It won't make you loopy. And I said, well, all right, run it. So she gives me the shot, and I literally felt the migraine go whoosh, and just let go. And I'm like, whoa, that is awesome. And then 2 seconds later, I went into anaphylactic shock. Cold sweats, hives, difficulty breathing. My assistant leaped into the hallway, and he wasn't fucking around. He said, help! The doctor comes running in, the charge nurse comes running in, my nurse comes running in, and they start all the protocols for anaphylaxis, epinephrine, Benadryl, blah, blah, blah. They start an IV. and this stuff's going to knock you out. So I pass out. Yeah. I wake up, and the ER doctor is sitting in a chair charting next to my bed. And I went, her name was Heather. And I said, well, hello, Heather. And she said, yeah, that was kind of rough, wasn't it? I said, yeah, it was. And she's like, what's the matter? Because I was just staring at her. I said, it is not comforting that in a busy emergency room, the ER doctor is sitting in my room watching me recover from this. She just laughed. She said, just be sure to tell people you're allergic to that shit. So it's in my chart. Not a good sign.
Yeah, that would be a brutal one.
Pops, you take care and feel better, brother.
What's up with him? Was he sick? His stomach was hurting him or something?
Yeah, he's all stoved up. Bless his heart. Praying for you, bro. Conversely, I know that as a counselor, I would get called out to the emergency rooms frequently. Here they call them 1013 evaluations. That's for involuntary commit. Are they clear and present danger to themselves or someone else? You got to go in and do these evaluations. And I've told this one, I've told this before, but it's a true story. There's this housewife, and they want me to evaluate her. And we're doing the evaluation, and she seems perfectly fine. And then I asked her, I said, have you thought about harming yourself or anyone else? And she said, no, but I did wonder if I shot myself in the back of the head, would I have time to see my brains hit the wall before I died? Yeah. The answer is no. That's not going to happen. Wait, what is that? What is that, Max?
Nicotine.
Is that tobacco?
It is.
You roll your own?
I do now.
You got a rolling machine? Yeah, man. I got to get one of those. Just saying. This is a process we're going to watch. Hold on. This is entertainment, and entertainment is where you can find it, boys and girls. The key to being a good host is knowing when gold falls into your lap. All right, so we get some of the tobacco product.
Start.
All right, scoot it to your left a little bit so you're on camera. Your other left. There you go.
Can you make the word go away?
I can. Hold on. Let me figure this out. There we go. All right. So we begin dispersing the product. You put some into the little. You put some into the little chute.
Yep. Close it down once. Blend it back in. Pinch it down again. Make sure that it's pinching good. You get these.
Get your papers.
Cigarettes that are pre-rolled
with a filter built in.
Slap that on the end here.
Bam. One cigarette. Look at that. Look at that. Pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, that's why I started doing it, because it's like $7.80 for a pack of cigarettes, or you could do this and do it for $1.20 a pack.
That's exactly right. So don't think I ain't going to get one of those because I'm his. There you go, boys and girls. Entertainment is where you find it.
That's right.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong button. I thought I'd killed the whole thing for a second there, Max.
Uh-oh.
All right, so it's that time of the show where we got to play a couple of commercials. This actually gives me the opportunity to go and refill my coffee. So let's play one here. Here we go.
In a world where creatures of myth and legend exist, a covert task force is charged with keeping humanity safe from supernatural threats. And when young Nancy Moon stumbles into the eternal battle between good and evil, she finds... Oh my God, will you shut up? What's happening? Agent Beckett here. Aren't you tired of stuff like that? Want something different? Roll the tape. Whoops. Sorry about that. That's a song I'm writing for my ex. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's more like it. Alrighty. Welcome to the world of the mythicals. We have it all. Monsters. Magic. Government agents. He's the strong silent type. This guy. Ugh, gross, dude. Get some kind of cream or something. Lots of 90s style action. Pew pew pew. And that strong female lead alluded to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention a dashing field commander with a great sense of fashion. Look at those glasses. South River Studios presents The Mythicals, Issue 1. Buy it, if you dare. Ugh. Will you can it already? How'd you get free? Now beat it before I lose my cool.
So what are you waiting for? Back it today. Like right now.
Back the Mythicals today.
Alright, so that was bizarre. Anthony popped in the back, and then he realized there was a commercial playing, and he left. What the hell, Anthony? You're in, you're out, you're out, pick one.
I'm out of here.
Turn that off. Had the air conditioner running during the commercial. It gets hot in here.
That's what he said.
All the trees that used to shade this side of the house are gone.
Gone now.
So it gets warm in here, Jack. All right, so the link is pinned. Not pinned, it's in the chat. That's what I meant to say. Feel free to jump in if you'd like to. I got to send out a message here real quick. Hold on. When you forget stuff, it just happens. What in the world? I am finding you very sexy and would like to talk to you. I don't think so, Scooter. What is the scam behind that, by the way?
What's know.
What's the scam, chat? Somebody tell us.
I'm sure there's plenty of different scams. It's just an introductory.
Some guy sitting in New Delhi finds a picture of some porn star, makes a Facebook account, and then PMs you. I find you so sexy. I want to be your friend. Can we talk? For what? What's going to happen?
I'm going to send you a check for $200. Oh, I sent one for $2,000. My bad. Can you send me the rest of it back?
Nope, I can't. Also, what if it's true? What if it's actually true? What if there's just this ultra hot, beautiful, desperate, lonely woman, and she's just tired of the rich millionaires showering her with money, and she has scoured Facebook and found you and went, this looks like a nice guy. I think I would like to have a relationship with him. It could be true.
Possible.
It could be true. I better get this guy in here quick. He'll leave again.
Yeah, no shit.
What's up, Anthony?
He's already silent.
He's just can't hear you, bro.
Can you hear me all right?
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
You can't hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Weird. I don't know why my.
think you're on a delay also. Ladies and gentlemen, Dark-Skinned Comics. Sketch, that's harsh and funny at the same time. What if it's true? Doc really does belong writing comics. That's a good fantasy. Just need a midget now to tell people the plane is here. The plane, the plane.
The plane, boss, the plane.
That's not funny.
How dare you?
Anthony, how copy? Oh, he muted.
He muted himself, so obviously not a good copy.
Hear me at all?
Yes, I can hear you, but you're roboting, and there seems to be a delay.
Yeah, I got you. All right, give me a.
All right, he's working it out. He's working it out.
That ain't working. That's the way you do it.
Oh, you're a smooth talker. You are.
Crystal Tomei, one of the hottest people that ever.
Hell
knows.
yeah.
Hello, Dawn.
Hi.
How are you?
Hanging in there. Just actually checking to see if my phone keeps doing that stupid thing where it was kicking me out like it had been. So I'm actually kind of using you as a, I'm using you.
That's all my show's good for. People come in and test their internet.
Yep.
Yeah, at least you're good for something.
Oh.
I didn't say you were good for just that, though.
That hurt.
I didn't say you were good for just that.
I'm not sensitive, Dawn. You need not worry. I've been married too many times to be sensitive. I mean, there's only so many times you can be, told that you're worthless and stupid. And
yeah. So I always tell people, I'm always like, you hurt my feeling. Yeah. Like, if you're feeling, I'm like, yeah, I've only got one left.
Yeah. Oh my!
And guess what?
What's
Bye.
that?
I don't know. Did I lock up on my camera?
Yes, you're roboting and you're frozen. So glad I could be of service to you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what else to do to make it stop doing that crap.
It may be do it. Do you know how to do a speed test?
No.
Just in any search window, just type in speed test, and several reliable ones will pop up. Click on it. It's going to test your upload and your download speeds.
Okay. On my computer, it's.
Yep. Anthony, are you there, brother? Nope.
22.
I'm here.
All right. Hey, here, I heard him too.
We heard you. There does still seem to be a delay. If we're counting and I say number 1, you say. No. Bad connection, brother. I wonder, Anthony, you must be at work. Because I know he's got a good rig at home. And he said, fuck it, I'm out.
I did the test. It said that my test is good.
All right, so it's not your internet speed. It's a hardware issue.
It's just StreamYards.
You might want to do a restart on your device that you're filming with and your computer.
Okay. Well, I might be back. I appreciate you helping me. I do actually really appreciate this.
Yeah.
That's all I know to do, because the next step is spit in the back of it and whomp it on the side.
I've already tried that. I kicked its ass today. I dropped it a couple times.
I remember when the lightning killed my old computer. It didn't quite kill it all the way, but it would make this the hard drive, and it would keep effing up, so I punched it really hard just to see what would happen. Yeah, that killed it. Just something you do, you know. It's like, Max, I own an electric can opener that doesn't open cans.
What?
Yeah.
Is that like something your wife got that doesn't, is like supposed to like keep the edges from cutting you or something?
No, it's a pet peeve of mine, actually. There's a hatred between me and inanimate objects. The last 3 can openers I've owned, electric ones, were pieces of shit.
Yeah.
This one will open 1/2 of a can, and then it just drops the can. And then you have to reboot it up, and it takes you have to fight it to get it to grab the can. Where are the Sunbeam can openers from the 70s that were as heavy as a cinder block, and you could open a barrel of oil with one of those things if you had to?
Hell yeah.
That's what I want.
About.
This one's a
had a full-on 3-prong fucking grounded connection for your shit, so that way you could really get it going.
You need a 220. You need a 220 can opener.
220 can.
So that prompted me to buy some of the good old, the P38s, the MRE can openers.
Yeah.
Hey, they might be rough on your fingers, but they work 100% of the time.
Yep.
100% of the time. So, you know, there's some things the military does better than anybody else. We kill people, we break things, and we can open cans. What are we looking at here, Max?
This is the Mary Machine Gun advertisement in diamond.
Nice.
Antarctic Press.
Look at that. This is a lot like when Steve Martin and the Jerk found his name in the phone book.
Yep.
I'm somebody now.
I'm somebody now. But it's
that's awesome.
Super exciting for sure to have myself in diamond. Me and Johnny are super happy about it. I've never been in diamond, so it's a first for me. So I'm so excited for it.
It's a big deal. John, if you want to pop in, there's the link. John stood me up last week. He was supposed to be on when we had Lucifer Storm on, and he just blew me off completely.
That's okay. I showed up and took his spot.
You did. You brought the suave. How many cigarettes did you roll just then?
5.
Look, man, it's a pack at a time or don't do it at all.
I'm running out of tubes.
Oh, no.
I gotta go buy some more tubes.
How much does that machine cost?
Well, the machine, for a manual one like that, you can get it for about $40.
All right.
They've got electric ones that are about $60, $70, but I mean, manual machine works just fine.
Yeah. I mean,
and then tobacco costs you about $16 a bag, which is a pound, and then the tubes are like $2.50, $3 for 250 to 300 of the tubes.
Still cheaper than buying a carton.
Oh yeah, buy.
What's up, John?
No, Dick. You were supposed to be on at the time you said you were not on. And then I said, well, maybe he meant like mountain time or something. Came back then, still not on.
I was on same bat time. Sent you the link. You stood me up.
You sent me the link like the day prior, though.
Just own it. You stood me up, you bastard. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Pretty good. It's been a good day today.
Already, huh?
Yeah. I've got the last of the edits are out the door on their way to Anthony.
That's good.
The weight of the world comes off of you because now it's beyond your control.
Isn't that the best? It's all yours. Now it's all on you. If it doesn't get done, it's somebody else's fault.
That's right. I've done all I can do. I've done my part. Well, actually, we still got to do the lettering, but no big deal.
Who's doing that? You?
Anthony's doing that for me, but we do.
Well, then it's still his problem.
Yeah. Now we do it together because you know me, John. I'm going to micromanage that shit. No, I want this balloon to be here.
I figured a man of your seasoning would have learned not to micromanage by now.
Nope. I have never let go of. I don't know. Maybe with some things I can let go of it.
The one thing I've learned that is to maintain your micromanagement.
Yes.
If you want shit to come out right.
Yes. But what I was going to say was I got those out the door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finished with all the pages I'm doing for Rex.
Hi, Dawn.
Hello.
Welcome back, Dawn.
Doc's just ignoring you.
Because she's been in and out.
I don't care.
Oh, here
Mind your manners.
Speaking about cigarettes.
I have manners. Manners are overrated.
Oh, came with the authentic cigarette smoke smell. Ha ha! Yeah, if you buy a painting from me, or if you buy Bristol board art from me, chances are it's gonna smell like smoke. Yep. Just saying, because it's still America in my house.
Well, there you go. Oh, you're talking about Sketchbook. Yeah, I mailed him out. He posted it on Twitter. I like it when people post when they receive my artwork, my commissions on Twitter.
Yep.
Speaking of that, I just got a DM, a DM request saying, I guess Marsupial Gamer put out a commission that I did, that he bought. And he posted it, and he was like, I saw a Leonardo you did on Twitter. How do I commission you, and what are your rates?
See, yeah. That's the stuff you like to do. But that's what I was going to say is my commissions are closed now because I've got to ink the pages I penciled for Rex, and then I'm doing some breakdowns for somebody. When those are done, I've got a painting I got to do as a commission, and then I'm taking a break. Got to take
Sure.
Like maybe a day of not.
Oh, okay.
Not making any.
I'm thinking about taking a break on my birthday.
Yeah.
For at least like the second, like the whole, like maybe even like 2/3 of the latter half of the day, just not doing anything.
Because honestly, if you're doing this seriously, there's never a time you're not working. I mean, if you're awake and you're not working, you begin to feel like you're slacking, you're wasting time. You get that too?
100%. I'll be watching a movie.
Oh, thank you very much, Sketchbook. He says he's sharing the piece that I did for him, the El Santo and Blue Demon. Piece
Yeah.
Some people call the wrestlers and luchadores.
Yes, the luchadores. I was watching you make that one, and I was curious to see how it turned out, but I didn't get to see it. So, Sketch, if you're the one that got that, DM it to me so I can see it.
Yeah, show it around the world, man.
Let it get around. So what are you working on currently, John?
Well, I just finished a live stream, which is when I noticed your... I was working on a page for the new project I'm working on.
I was watching your live stream as I was setting up this show.
Oh, well, there you go. You know what I'm working on then? Why you...
What is that? What is that for?
That's for an upcoming project that I'm currently working on but we have not announced yet, so I can't say.
Okay. All right. That scene appeared to be World War II-ish inside a submarine?
No. Do you want to see it? Should I pull it up?
Yeah. Sure.
You know what? I'll DM it to you. That way you can share it. Because if I share it, my audio is going to start clipping.
Okay. I can do that.
All right. So I'll just do that. Give me a sec. Keep on talking about what you're talking about.
We're not really talking about anything. We're just kind of, just...
Did you say utes?
Yeah, 2 utes.
What is a ute?
What is a ute?
What's a ute?
I freaking love that. That movie is amazing on every level. It just works. Marissa Tomei is a goddess. Joe Pesci killed it. And what's the dude's name that plays the Herman Munster guy that played the judge?
Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn was amazing in that movie.
He always is.
Are you mocking me with that outfit? Mocking you, Judge? No, I'm not mocking you. I tried to take the suit to the dry cleaners, but the dry cleaners was closed. They got the flu. You got that? The whole town had the flu. So I wore this monstrosity for you. I don't like your attitude. Well, that's a surprise. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, Sketch said he saw an airplane when he was checking out your stream.
Roland smokes and smoking smokes.
Is that Phil?
It is Phil.
What's up, Phil? Tell him hi. Always be careful. Oh, Dawn is frozen. Just smile. I thought she was just being pleasant and smiling the whole time. Did I have that,
all right,
John?
I sent it to you.
Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I had to do a little bit of research to find out, because in this scene I have to show him ejecting himself out of his plane. But I found out in the World War II era, the people that fly there was only like 1 or 2 planes that actually had ejector seats, and the fighter pilots were not among them. You just open it up, and sometimes it'll actually fly out. The top will fly out. Then you're supposed to pitch your plane upside down and then fall out.
You just jump out the best you can.
That's pretty hardcore. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it is. Let me share that. Welcome back, Dawn.
Thanks. I didn't really go anywhere, but apparently I went somewhere.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, apparently they say you're supposed to turn your plane upside down. This is what they told you when you had to ditch your plane. Is you're supposed to pitch it upside down and either let yourself fall out or push yourself out. That way you can avoid, the tail end of your plane hitting that.
Right.
You'll fall out at a faster rate instead of just popping open and hopping out and then the plane hitting you as you're going down.
But that actually looks like an F4F Wildcat.
It is a Wildcat, yes.
Right on. Now, see, it was panel, I guess, 3 with the gun that I saw you working on. It looked like a submarine's deck gun.
Right. So this one's actually, I got a reference for this, and it was like it is a really heavy gun, but sometimes they'll take these and they'll mount them on like a trailer. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I was like, yeah, okay, because this is supposed to be the African theater.
Oh, okay. All right. So those are that'd be the 88 then.
Oh, I don't know.
The German 88.
I'm not that well versed.
I'm his.
I learned just enough to get the job done.
Exactly right. Exactly. That's a good panel though, bro. Or a good page.
Well, thank you.
I like it.
Like it a lot.
Ba-ding! Who ba-dinged?
That was me.
The sketchbook says, yeah, they jumped out. What was awesome is that you could get close enough to an enemy aircraft to shoot them down with a shotgun.
Yeah. There was a show on the History Channel, early 2000s, late 90s, that was the dog fights with computer generated, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I forget what they called it. But literally this one World War II pilot's talking about, he shot this one guy down and he jumped out of his plane and he goes, and it caught on fire and he burned all the way to the ground. But, that's war. Could you imagine?
Yeah, it always fascinates me when they depict it in movies, right? Like when the soldiers run out of ammo or they don't have anything left to kill each other with, and you end up having to beat somebody to death with your bare hands, which isn't as easy as you'd think it would be.
It's not. It's not.
It takes some time to end someone's life with your bare hands.
Fixed bayonets.
That's a true story. The scene in Saving Private Ryan where the sergeant runs out of ammo and he throws his helmet at the guy. That's some real shit. That's some shit you would do.
Mm-hmm. That was great. I love that. In particular, I love that scene where the Jewish soldier is stuck up there with I'm supposed to be bringing him some ammo, and he gets into that fist fight with that German, and just with one knife. That was great.
That's a horrible scene, though. Particularly, the German is saying something to him, leaning down on the bayonet, you know. And for some reason, it's important to the American guy. They go, "What? What are you saying? What?" You know, just desperate to understand how this has happened. You know, think about that moment. You're about to die. And you're asking the guy, "What are you saying right now?" I don't care what you're saying. I'm going to need your balls. I'm going to bite your arm. We're going to do something. Oh, I ain't going out like that. Yep.
I don't care what you're saying because it's the last thing you're going to say anyways, bitch.
Yes. Yeah, your E-tool is your best friend. You can beat somebody to death with that thing. That's for sure.
What is an E-tool? What is that?
It's the entrenchment tool. It's the little tiny collapsible shovel that they give you that sucks to dig anything with bigger than a foxhole.
Yeah. But it is a good weapon. You need it.
Yep.
Beat somebody to death with that thing.
I was watching one of the, I watch a lot of fights on Twitter. And I was watching these two guys fight, but they were fighting in the middle of a field, right? Just fist fighting. And the thing was, like, it's not like you can grab somebody and slam their head against the floor of the concrete. It's just dirt. It's just like they were struggling so hard, but neither one of them had the power to knock the other one out. So it was like watching that fight from what was that movie with Roddy Piper?
I'm all about bubblegum. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
They Live, like watching the fight from They Live. It just goes on and on and on.
There's, no matter how cool you think you are, nobody looks cool in a real fight unless they're a trained MMA fighter. Everybody looks like the same kids they were in the 5th grade on a playground, flailing away. You try to, you've had 5 minutes of training, so you might box for a second, or, you might kick at somebody. Trust me, you're going to look stupid. If somebody films it, you're going on YouTube, you're going to look like an idiot. Just saying. It's a universal truth. Saw a guy at the Waffle House one night. The bars had just closed.
This is how every great story starts at the Waffle House.
It is. I'm sitting at the low bar, and there's this couple, and they're at the back booth near me, and they're sitting side by side instead of across from each other. So they're in love, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, who knows. And they're not bothering anybody. Here comes Billy Bubba, the asshole. And he starts fucking with him. He's drunk. And he's a big guy. Got on a cowboy hat. And the guy had enough of the guy's mouth. And he said to him, he goes, "Why are you wearing that hat? The closest you ever got to a horse was the one plugged in outside of Walmart." And so the guy walks back there to get physical. And he punches down at the dude sitting in the booth. Well, the dude just ducks his head. The guy, you can hear his knuckles break on the hardest part of the head right there. And my man from the back booth just stands up, throws a quick right, wham, hits dude, buddy. He goes down like a sack of wet cement, skids up under the low bar. I had to move my feet where he landed. And he had the good grace to say, "All right, well, hell, that ain't the first time I got my ass beat." And the whole place just busted up laughing at me. But you're kidding. We found that so hard to believe. That's the first time you got your ass beat. Yes.
Sound like a platoon leader I used to have. Used to be the same way.
They're all comedic looking. I don't care what you say. Billy says, "Billy Bubba's my cousin." One day I'm going to tell that story and somebody's going to go, "That was me."
I was talking to someone about this the other day. You ever tell someone a story about you that happened, and then like months later, you hear someone you don't even know coming at you with that same story as if it happened to them?
Yes.
And you're like, wait a minute. I told this story just like months ago. I know.
My story.
It's my story. This is me. You're stealing my shit.
There was a guy that hung around my little circle of friends, and nobody really liked him.
I told a story about a time I went to McDonald's, and then somebody else told that same story.
Well, John actually has a story, and I'm going to have him on one day to tell the story about Squash Man, because it is a saga worthy of being illustrated into a book. I think that's the hardest I have ever laughed at anything on the internet ever that night, John. So, kudos.
And well, it was a true story.
Yes, that's what makes it fun. What the hell was I saying?
You had a story that was true?
Oh, there was a guy that hung around the periphery of our friend group, right? And he's dead now. He died a very stupid death. He was huffing, and he did what's called a riser. You squat down and you empty your lungs, you fill the bag, and you stand up, and you inhale at the same time. Supposedly you get a deeper whatever off of huffing. He passed out, fell over, and broke his neck on the coffee table.
What a genius.
But this guy...
You said broke his neck?
Broke his neck. Hangman's fracture.
Genius.
So, anyway, we were all swapping stories about him. And,
like, hey, remember that time when you used to be able to walk?
But anyway, everybody there was like, dude, man, I remember I told him this story about, something that happened to me. And then I heard him at a party telling somebody about the shit like it happened to him. And he would do it pathologically. It was like, damn.
Oh, yeah. You know what I've kind of realized? What people that do that are, they're usually the lushes, the guys that are always with multiple girls. Those guys tell a lot of like other people's stories as their own.
Oh, that's their pickup line, you think?
Yeah. Well, just a way to make them seem more interesting.
Yeah. I think that these are the people that so desperately want to be cool, and they're not.
Yeah.
Well, there's very few cool people, like genuinely cool people. Like most of us are just lames that have cool things happen every now and then.
Right.
Everyone has something cool happen to them. Now, you can feed that coolness by taking stuff like LSD.
Oh God.
that'll make things.
You scared Dawn away with your drug talk.
I did.
Dawn,
I knew it was waiting.
You dirty dopers.
But I remember one time my buddy took a bunch of LSD, and I was sitting there. I was the babysitter.
Oh Lord.
So I was watching. We were hanging out in the rock quarry, and he jumps up and he says, "Shadow Ninja Warriors, they're in the trees." And he takes off running, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, this guy's gonna run and kill himself in this quarry." So I'm running, and I start chasing him, and then I realize, okay, this guy's scared. I'm chasing him. It's making him more scared. I need to de-escalate the situation. I'm the babysitter. I should be here, the one de-escalating the situation.
That doesn't mean you're sober, though, does it?
No. He's running. He's running. And he's looking back at me. And he's running forward. And he's looking back at me. And he's running forward. And he looks back at me. And he turns back around. And there's a tree right in front of him. And he hits the tree at full fucking speed. And the tree was rotted to the core. And it just explodes into fucking shards of tree. And he's like, "I'm a fucking god." And I'm like, "Well, you know what, buddy? Looks like you are."
That's awesome.
You hit that tree, it explodes, and the best thing is turn around and be like, Still got it.
My buddy Ian was tripping acid. We were listening to some friends of ours. He was my guitar player on one of my bands, and we were watching some friends of ours that had a band. We were watching them rehearse, and he went outside, and I noticed after a while he's been gone for a while, right? I'm like, let me go check on dude, man. He's tripping, you know. So I go outside, and there he is. He's sitting at the base of a pecan tree in this guy's backyard, hugging the tree, and he goes, "Close the fucking door." So I closed the door. He said, "Bro, the music was about to sweep me off this tree and carry me out into space." Like, all right, well, you hang on to that tree, man, because I'm going back in there. Sketch says, I had a buddy I met years ago that started before I joined. He said he was tripping on acid one time. Talking about thing to the sound of the music space.
So like I only tried acid one time, and the entire time I just kind of like, we had all these houses where I grew up. It was like, it wasn't like apartments, but the houses, they were all separate, but they were all shared a driveway in like a complex. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we were all behind Sean. Sean lived in the very back, my buddy Sean, and so the back of the houses was the one yard that we all kind of shared. If you wanted to do like a barbecue or something, we all had to go to the back house yard. You know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I mean, again, we were poor, so we had like aluminum foil on the windows because that was where the sun would hit. And I just stood back there looking at, you know, the aluminum foil on the window, just tripping out, seeing mermaids in the window, like, it was nice.
That's my friend Steve. He's the musician that plays on my trailer in the band Damage. he would say, man, because he's a badass musician and songwriter. I mean, he's just amazing. But he's like, man, here's the thing. The acid gives me my music. And then I write the music while I'm tripping. And then when I come down from the trip, it's like all the creative juice has been drained out of my brain. So I drink orange juice and it recharges my brain and a new song comes. So I said, so basically, creative ability is orange juice. And he went, damn, I never thought of that.
Well, didn't they used to say, because I know when I was in high school, they would say if you took an acid, you're supposed to drink orange juice, it'll help the high come on faster.
Yeah.
Because normally if you take it, it'll take like a half an hour before you even start to feel anything.
It helps you to come down too, is my understanding, you know, when you're coming down. Yep. So it's a trip no matter what, literally. I've never done it. I came close because I didn't know what it was. And my buddy said, we're at a party. He's like, you want to hit acid? I'm like, what is it? He said, it's the happy drug, man. You put it on your tongue, it dissolves, and you'll start laughing, and you'll laugh all night long. I thought, well, hell, that sounds fun. And then my other buddy was like, you really want to do LSD? And I was like, wait, what? Fuck no, I want to do LSD.
Oops.
Yeah, everybody knows somebody that's tripped and has a funny story. All right, boys and girls, it's actually time to wrap this bad boy up. I want to thank Max for coming out and co-hosting. Hail the mighty chat. Dawn, thank you. John, thank you for coming out.
No, thank you for letting me use you as a trying to figure out what the absolute F is going on. Still haven't figured it out, but you know.
Oh, wait a minute. We got an expert weighing in. No, milk brings you down, but only within the first hour. After that, you're on your own. Listen, when DG speaks about drugs, people listen. I was going to ask Max. Oh, there it is. All right. Let me play this ad for Max here.